weirdos? It's Brian again. Today is another Monday, so that means more shit on my table. All right, guys, let's dive into German box number 3. Let's see what we got. All right, guys, so here's everything in that box. All right, guys, so let's dive in. So as you can tell, I'm a big Panther fan. I dig the Panthers. So I got a bunch of Panthers. All right, so first let's check these bad boys out. These are some kitten APCs. These are they made a couple prototypes for these to be the first like all tracked APCs, like purpose built APCs. But the war ended and they didn't make them. But there's a couple different models. But this is from now. These are 3D printed from a guy called Arctic Fox.
Arctic
he's
Skunk,
on
actually, laser.
Shapeways, I believe. Now, back in the day when Shapeways wasn't fucking outrageously expensive, you could get these things pretty much on the cheap. But these things are, I think they're overpriced for what you get now with all the 3D printers and stuff out there. But they're sweet looking little APCs. Sweet looking models. These are mods off the 38T, like the Hetzers and all that shit. But yeah, and that's how they size up. With these are so all these minis on here are going to be artisan designs. So they fit really, really good there. All right, so, and I put on a recoilless rifle on this one, just saying this is like the command vehicle or something. But then, it's basically the same kind of setup as the 251s. There you go. Pretty cool. Pretty cool vehicle. All right, then we've got, back here, we've got that Panther's being unbuilt because I'm waiting to try to find a Berga Panther conversion. The Berga Panther are basically recovery vehicles on the Panther chassis. So that's what that chassis is for. I'm waiting for something for like that to pick up. Now, all this stuff, guys, is 148 scale. Okay? 148. All right. Now, here we got two Yog Panthers. These are Tamiya kits. And that's 28 mil on it. Now that looks pretty realistic right there. And instead of that 156 bullshit, that's what you want right there. 148. I'll tell you how it is. Woo! Beauty. Got two of those bad boys. Then we've got a platoon of Panthers here. We've got two G's. And then we've got three F's. F's, they take on the new turret. They actually made quite a few of these turrets, but they were never deployed into combat. It's got it's got a modified mantle, so you don't have those shot traps anymore, and it's also got a rangefinder on it too, so it helps with some long distance. This one's the command vehicle because it's got the command antenna. And again, these are Tamiya. These are Tamiya hulls, but the turrets, I want to say, are Verlinden conversions. Beautiful conversions there. Then we got two Flak Panthers, the Coelian or something like that. These are awesome. These are the dual, I believe they're 37 mil or maybe 50 millimeter. No, I think they're the 37 millimeter version. The chassis is again Tamiya, but the turret is a 148 Verlinden conversion. Pretty sweet. And then you guys have all seen this bad boy, the Tiger Ost S. I call it the S because it's got the Shoggoth infused in it. This is a King Tiger, Bengal Tiger, whatever you want to call it, Tiger Off B, whatever you want to call it. This is a Tamiya kit, and all I did was 3D printed some tentacles I found free on Colts, And there you go. You got Shoggoth bits and pieces popping out of the thing, grabbing dudes, chomping them up, squeezing them to death. But yep, there you go. So that is when I was reorganizing everything I owned. I got rid of a whole bunch of stuff, and I was gonna say, I had a platoon of fucking Panzer IVs. I had a platoon of Tigers. I had tons of German armor because I used to play with a bunch of guys. We played 148 tank battles, and one of my buddies was a American player. One of my buddies was a Brit player. So they had like M4s and Shermans and Cromwells and Churchills and shit. One of my buddies was the Soviet, and they T-35 or T-34s and IS-2s and shit. So I was the German guy. So I had platoons of this shit. So, but I sold off all my Panzer IVs and Tigers for the most part, and I kept all my Panther stuff. But anyways, but there you go. Some heavy armor. All right, guys. So a lot of this stuff is pretty accessible now, especially with all the 3D printing stuff around and the new 156 scale. Everybody's glommed onto that. Like those kittens were like impossible to find for a long, long time. The only scale you could find it in was maybe 15 millimeter. But now I know several companies that do 148, and I know several companies do 156. So those aren't really hard to find. You just got to find which companies are doing them. The Panther Fs, it's kind of an oddball thing, but it was the next evolution of the Panther. But it's a cool looking turret. It's kind of like a more angled turret, smaller looking turret. But all this is Tamiya 148 for the most part. That stuff is pretty hard to get now, to be honest with you. I think their Panthers have been out of production for a while. But I mean, you can always find, at modeling conventions or hobby shops or whatever. But I think it's pretty sparse on eBay. But they're out there. You just gotta find them. Tamiya stuff is fantastic, but they are models. So if you're a war gamer and you don't want to fuck with models, I would still shoot for Tamiya. I mean, they are fantastic kits. I mean, it's like a pleasure building those things. They just put together like amazing, and they're a lot of fun. So I always bought Verlinden as my conversion kits. Verlinden, I don't see much Verlinden anymore. I don't know if they're still in business, to be honest with you. But they made a lot of conversion kits for all sorts of stuff. But you can get conversion kits out there. And again, with the advent of 3D printing and whatnot, everybody and their brother are doing like conversions and whatnot for pretty much any scale. So this is truly the golden age of wargaming. You just gotta track it down. It's out there. You just gotta find it. All right, guys. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed a little bit of Nazi heavy metal. And I got one more box of German shit to show off, so that'll have to wait till next week. All right, guys. Whatever you do, keep it weird. See ya.